Hello and welcome everybody to the 13th installment in A Murder of Crows, Land of Shadows. Today we are embarking on the last leg of the middle part of the adventure, which would be to free Adwena, who, as we all know, is the mother of crows and your mother as well, Mummy dearest. You have so far freed 3 of the sisters 4, Rhiannon, Eronia, and God, what was the last one?
Arethusa.
Arethusa, exactly. And now remains only the mother of ravens. So of all of the sisters 4, she is the one that is associated both with death and life. So she is the beginning and the ending. She is the ever evolving or revolving cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. So basically the heart of nature. And yeah, she happens to be your mother as well. So we'll see how that works out. So before we do anything,
free her so I can kick her. That was the idea.
That was the idea. And then you'll stomp off like a teenager, like the teenager that you are.
Yes.
But before we do this, everybody gets a long rest. And also for everybody watching, everyone is now level 7 except for Ruto, who is level 5. Yeah.
That he's just tiny.
But he's a tiny fine. Well, he's not that tiny. He's 1 meter tall, so he is.
That's true.
Yeah, and he's fey, and he can fly, and and he's. But milady. Okay, so Arethusa is also going to help you on your quest. So again, the quest is divided into 2 parts. Number 1 is you need to find the heart. Which is usually kept by a guardian who may or may not be working for the side of good. And then you need to find her body, and you have to reunite the 2. So basically, Arethusa looks at you and she says, your mother is in the Great Desolation. It's a large swamp where he decided to dispose of her body. And her heart has been kept in the cradle of the hollows. It's going to be an arduous journey, and it's going to be a journey into darkness. There will be light, but only the light that the 2 of you bring with you, internally and externally. And it's going to be trying, both physically and mentally. I hope you are prepared.
As best as we can.
And she bends down, because she is quite tall, and she kisses you lightly on the cheek, and she says, give my regards to my sister.
The swamp.
You were breaking up there. What was that? You have to talk loudly.
So the swamp. Sigh. Means we will get dirty, guys. Are we ready for that? Darling will crawl up even deeper into the backpack, like I'm not setting a foot on that.
Milady, I will take off my coat, and I will make sure that you will walk on it so that your feet will not get stained. And he takes off his cloak and he throws it in front of you.
We are not there yet, Fruto. No, again. We are fellow adventurers. Same level? Yes? Eye to eye? Kind of.
Milady.
No. We had this discussion.
He looks crestfallen, and then Min puts her hand on his shoulder and she says, I know. She can be very trying.
Not a lady. I am a shopkeeper. My lady lives in a nice fancy tower manor housey with a lot of money.
Ruto cocks his head to the side and says, riches do not equal decorum. Riches do not equal kindness and love. Kindness, love, and decorum are the signs of good breeding and are the hallmarks of ladyships. He bends down and he rummages around and he breaks a flower off its stem and hands it to you.
Will hand over his coat as exchange.
He sighs. Do you throw the flower to the ground or do you keep it? What do you do with it?
I will put it in his revert of the jacket when he puts it back on. Just like a little decoration.
He places his hand on it and then he says, I shall press this flower and then keep it close to my heart forever.
Why am I even trying? And you call me the one who is a little bit...
A little bit what?
Off to the swamp.
You see that he's hanging back. And he is hunched over and he looks very sad.
I will sit down in front of him.
He doesn't look at you.
No. I will make sure that he at least standing is in front of me, and if not, there will be the finger lifting his head and he has to look at me. We are just not my ladies. My ladies are not going out fighting. My ladies are not getting dirty. My ladies are not killing things.
I thought you liked me.
You're like family. But when you say my lady, it gives me every time the feeling that I don't belong here and you don't want me here because you are a fighter and I am not. You are not putting us equal to you, which gives me the feeling that I am less than you, which I do not like.
Milady would best me in any fight.
Again. My lady is a pretty dress with pretty something that does not do hard work.
Miss Emberheart would best me in any fight.
No, you would kick my butt in every fight, clearly, because you are the better fighter. I will not discuss that. We are different kind of fighters, every single one of us. Even that charming little one has her own fighting style.
A paw comes over with extended like, claws.
And a little smile with sharp teeth. We are in this together. We are family. And we are equal.
He pulls out his sword. One for all and all for one.
My magical sword will appear and will cling to it, but then I look at Min and I'm like, oh, you just put your finger on there? Your weapons are your hands.
She basically puts out her fist and she grabs your blade. She actually has bandages around her hands, so she's kind of taped her hands so that, you know, there is some air so that the knuckles and are
a little bit protected.
Yes. So, and then the three of you get up. Darling is still sitting in your... Well, actually, are you going to switch over and give Darling to Min? Because you discussed twice already that it would make sense for her to carry her in case you need to Misty Step.
think we will just switch around, just in between.
Okay.
Whoever that whatever darling feels like, we will deal with. Worst case, I will have to teleport with her, which I can do now, and that would definitely work because I can take somebody with me.
And so what happens is Arethusa does teleport you, like it has happened before. And what you see is when you come round, well, it's not like you're unconscious, but when your sight's clear, you see a land that is completely dark. So it's like, it's weird. It feels like it's night, but your inner clock tells you it's not. It's an unnatural darkness that permeates the world around you. And you see, as you look ahead, a huge ravine in front of you. And you see the path spiraling downwards. And you can see in the distance how the path basically leads you through the ravine. And I've got a really lovely picture of this. So essentially, you are standing between mountains and there is a path that is leading down, and you can see the rest of the path at the bottom of the ravine going into the distance. You also see that there are bat-like creatures flying up ahead and above. And you also see that there are mushrooms that are bioluminescent. So there is natural light coming from these mushrooms. So it's not dark in terms of it's gloomy, but it's not dark. You can see. And these mushrooms are quite frequent, so it's not like you would need a lantern or something to, at least not at the moment. And you can also see that there are trees at the top of the ravine, and their roots are basically even hanging into the ravine. And so as you descend, you see every time. As you descend, you see and you hear little stones that come like gravel coming loose and falling down. But overall, it is very quiet. You hear your own footsteps, obviously. You hear your own breath. But that's it. I mean, the bats don't make a sound.
And we're
there
not
is
close
no
enough
wind
to hear
howling.
the flapping from the wings.
Yeah.
We would be closer to that, yeah.
And okay, so who's taking point? Who goes first? Because you do have to walk single file because the path is quite narrow.
I think at least Lyra will try her luck to go first. And she will use her quarterstaff to like front to poke a little and see that she can find the way, maybe.
And Ruto comes in second, and Min brings up the rear because she is a lot taller than Ruto, so she can see further than he can. And also he is better with distance weapons, so if somebody attacks from behind, she would be in melee, and he can take his bow and use it. And, excuse me. So please make a perception check for me.
Okay. And we had a little... Oh god, I have to roll real dice today.
Yes, you have to roll real dice.
Roll 20 abandoned us. That is a good roll. That is a 16 survival. And it's a 19.
Okay, cool, very good. Lyra rolled an 18. Min, at some point I will learn this. Min rolled an 18, so between the two of you, you have a very good take on things. and you notice gossamer, like a veil every so often crossing your path, like gossamer. It doesn't seem to be sentient. It doesn't look like it's a flying entity or something, but there is some filament, something that is in the air. There is something. You don't really know what it is. And after a while, you come to an archway that spans the path before you. And it's made from stone. It's definitely not natural. Somebody has built this. And you can now... what do you want to do?
Have a look around, I think.
Okay.
And ears still open to see if we hear anything. And one question before I start rolling again. Am I still poisoned from last session?
No,
Okay.
no. You have had... also, Arethusa would have taken away any conditions that you've had.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you've also regained all of your hit dice, and you've also regained all of your hit
Spells.
points.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have anything that kind of only recharges on a something or other roll? That would have recharged as well.
Yeah, I did. The only thing that is not fully charged is the wand,
Yeah,
because
okay.
it's a d6 each long rest, so I rolled a d6. It was a 2, so I got 3 charges back.
Okay, cool.
So
Okay,
I'm 4
okay.
now. The rest is full again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you want to look around, you can either do an investigation check or you can do a perception check, whichever is the better.
Investigation is better, but I will roll my d10 on top of that, because it was a crappy, very poor roll. D10s must be... Let's take a vampire die. Why not? Very fitting for this setting.
Yeah, it is.
That is a 10, so we are now at a 16, a 21.
Oh, very good. That's a really good roll. Okay, so basically what you notice is that very faintly and very small, you can see runes on that archway. Somebody has carved runes. What you can do is you can, if you like, roll an Arcana check for me.
That is a 50.
Okay. You notice exactly what this is. These, you've seen them before. You have seen this type of rune, not this combination of runes, but you've seen this type of rune before. And this is a conjuration arch.
Okay.
Which, and it will conjure something, so it will make something appear, and it's not good. It's definitely going to inflict some form of damage on you. If you like, you can do a dispel magic, for example. Not dispel, sense magic, detect magic, to learn actually what it does and how to get around it.
We have identify.
Or identify.
Yeah. Although identify... Wait, are the spells in here as well? Yes. Not sure if it would do what we need.
But you've done it before, because
You choose an object that you must touch. Takes a minute to cast. I learn its properties and how to use them.
Yeah, but that's not... I thought you had detect magic. I was absolutely sure.
Other character. Oh, no, I do. I'm just stupid.
No, but I know that you do, because you've done it before.
I'm blind. Where is... Oh, detect magic is right up in the beginning. Then I will... the very rare spell slots. Oh well, I can hit things now. I have a sword. We'll do detect magic.
Okay. So it is a conjuration magic, as you know
Although
already.
detect magic doesn't only tell me what kind of magic, it does tell me nothing else. So I need to do identify if I want to see any
Well,
details.
I'm gonna tell you what it does.
Okay.
It
But
works
detect
like
magic
this.
would not tell me what it does. Detect magic only tells me it's magical, and it tells me if it's conjuration, necrotic, or that's it.
Yeah, but
No
it does tell
details.
you the following. It is conjuration magic, and if
Okay.
it is triggered, so this is clearly a trap. If it
Yes.
is triggered, you will take psychic damage, and it will...
That is something the spell will not tell me.
I'm telling you this now. Strike
Oh,
fear into
okay.
your hearts.
Well, there's no other way we can go, as far as I understood the description, so we have to get through it to move on.
But because your Arcana roll was 14, it was 15, you know that you can deactivate it by defacing some of these runes.
What material is the archway?
Stone.
Looking to the other two. So breaking the archway either will trigger it or will stop it. We will see. Maybe stand a few steps back.
Okay.
Because that can only repair. That does not. No, the runes is nothing you can repair. Let me see. I think that would be something what Lara would do. Lara would stand there with her hand and the ring out, and she would point the ram's ring or the ring at the archway and give it one blow.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
The
Clearly first making sure the others step back from
Yeah.
the archway.
The head of the green dragon, who's Petunia's mother, spills forth with full force from the ring and hits the arch. And the arch actually crumbles to the ground.
At least Lara would stand there silently, just waiting for something to happen. Just like, okay, that was more than I thought.
What actually happens to the head? Does it then just go back into the ring?
I
Or
think
does
it
it
just
dissolve?
vanishes. I think it dissolves.
Okay.
Because it has 3 charges, so not sure if... Or it returns in the ring? It does not say, so that is something that we can come up with. It only says comes out of the ring. So I would say it does damage and then dissolves.
Okay. You keep going.
Yeah, stepping through the broken archway, be like, sorry. We have to go on.
Okay.
And moving forward. Brute force. Brute force.
Yes. After a while, the walls are beginning to close in, so it's becoming narrower and narrower. Can I ask you to make a wisdom save, please?
Is it against anything magical?
Define magical.
Let me see. No, that's concentration. Am I mixing up my characters again? That's just resistant. Ignore the question. Wrong character.
Okay, I'm ignoring the question.
Wisdom save. Wisdom save. That is a 15.
Okay. Okay. It is very oppressive, but you manage. Let's see how Ruto does.
You got this, buddy.
We'll see.
Scam, I will grab your hand.
1d20 plus 1. God. Oh, on a 17, he's also fine. He says, I take heart in your guidance, Lyra.
Well, we are in this together. Nobody is alone, so we can do this.
We can do this.
And
he seems to grow a couple of inches.
Clap him in on the shoulder.
Okay, please roll a d10 for me.
Oh, I have it here. Vampire die. That is a 9. 9.
Okay. As you walk further, you hear a voice that's calling your name. It's kind of echoey. You know this voice. And it says, Lyra, you left me behind. You should have taken me with you. But you decided not to. Now I'm here, and I will follow you to the ends of the earth. I will haunt you until the day you die. He killed me, and it's your fault. It's Ruben's voice. And everybody else hears it too.
That would be, she would look around to the other two, just like, you hear that too?
Min looks at you and she says, who is that?
He can't be here.
Who?
You know, the place I fled.
Not really, because you never talk about your past much, but you did mention you fled.
He took in a boy to, well, pressure and form into his wantings. And I left without them. I just ran, looked out for myself.
And he killed him?
I don't know. I've never been turned back. I have no idea what happened, what happens back there. I honestly also did not care too much. I was happy to be free, finally.
Suddenly, in front of you appears, in front of everybody, appears a little tiefling boy with white skin. Out of nowhere, he looks kind of translucent. He kind of looks like a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at Ruto and he looks at Min and he addresses them and he says, "She left me behind. Look at your friend. Don't trust her. If she's given half a chance and if she needs to make a break for it, she will ditch you too."
I will not.
Okay. Okay. Ruto looks at you and he says, "Wasn't he family to you?"
No. I barely knew him. He just joined. He was just an English words come to me. Opfer in English?
Victim.
Victim. He was just another victim.
And you just decided to leave him behind?
I did only have this gap to leave. I had no idea if there was another chance.
And what if we are left down? What if we fall? What if something happens to us? Will you also just walk away if there's a chance?
I'm not prisoner anymore. I'm out here on my free will, same as you are. And I thought we were in this together, so we are together.
Well, it looks like this young boy thought you were in it together as well. Don't trust her. She will ditch you the first second she gets a chance.
He is clearly saying his version, what he thought or saw. It might be right, maybe he's not even dead. We have no idea. I can only say that you are the closest to family that I ever had in my life. But if you don't want to move on, there's always the point where you can turn around. I never forced anyone to come along. I hope you stay with me.
Min looks at Ruto and she says, "We don't even know if this is not a figment of our imagination. We don't know who sent this." And she turns to the boy and she says, "I don't trust you. I don't know you, but I do know Min. I do know Lyra, sorry."
Min? Oh, Shirai is talking. I see.
Shirai is talking. Shirai peeps up. "Yes, I also know Min and I totally trust her."
I have no chance. I can't get rid of her. No.
And Lyra walks around you and she places herself between you and that boy. And she says, "But if you want to have it out, bring it on."
I will step next to Min and just look at the tiefling ghost with a very sad expression in her face. I am sorry. If I wouldn't have left, might be that we both would be dead.
We all have our excuses, don't we?
Well, you could have run off. Isn't that an excuse you are not taking? You could have never get caught. Also an excuse a lot of people would do. I did what I could to survive. I'm not sure I would do the same nowadays. I can't change time.
Make a wisdom save.
Let me double check. Is that also for saves or only ability checks? Just to see. Or saving throw. That's good. Which I probably don't need. I rolled a 17, so a wisdom
You're
save
fine.
is a dirty 20.
You're fine.
I am sorry, but we have to go. And she would step forward and probably attempt to walk through him if he's...
And as you do this, he actually dissolves. And you know that this is not a ghost, because when you walk through ghosts, they don't disappear. This was not, it was made to look like a ghost, but that wasn't a ghost. That was some kind of specter, some kind of mirage, maybe. And Lyra takes your hand and she says, one day tell me about Ruben, if you like.
I will. Maybe now I'm strong enough as well that if we're back, I might go back and see if he's still there and if I can get him out of there.
And I will
I'm
come
not
with you.
Scared of Casimir anymore.
I will come with you.
And then I will look to Ruto. I mean it. We are family. And nobody's left behind. Well, Ohana means family and nobody gets left behind.
That doesn't count because it fell to the ground. Yeah, and again. Here we are. That's an 11. He is kind of, you can tell that he's thinking. This is something that he needs to think about, but he isn't as, he keeps walking and he follows you. And so you walk on and after a while, you hear something. You hear breathing of a large creature, and it sounds also like this. It sounds almost like a horse. What do you do?
Looking at the others, you hear that too.
Yeah.
Is there anything, well, just stopping for a short, does it come closer to us? And are there hiding spots? You said it's narrow, probably no hiding spots, I suspect.
You can now hear hooves which are moving towards you, but it's kind of like a really leisurely trotting. It doesn't, I mean, like a horse maybe that's walking really slowly. And no, you can't actually hide a lot because there is no hiding where you are. And suddenly huge antlers come into view, and around the corner steps an incredibly large elk. It's easily 4 meters tall, and it looks down at you. And it goes.
And a spell like talking to animals would be so helpful. Why does a warlock not get that one? We can only try to be very nice. Lyra will give it a tiny wave and just say in a very nice and calming voice, we are just passing by. We are looking for a heart.
The elk looks at you. It comes a little bit closer. It starts sniffing.
We don't have much food, but if you want some, we can share. Don't eat the cat.
Shakes its massive head with its massive antlers. And then in your head, you see an image of the mushrooms that you have been seeing that are glowing. And you get the distinct feeling that eating those mushrooms would calm any creature that eats them and makes them less fearful. And then the animal turns around, begins to canter, and vanishes into the night. You hear the clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, clip clop of the hoofs. But after a while, the darkness swallows that too.
That was something. Did you also... Did it talk to you as well? Looking at Min.
I feel we should take those mushrooms.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think we should take those mushrooms, just to be sure.
The question is, can we really follow that? After the other thing also tried to mess with us. Oh god, this place.
I don't know. Ruta, what do you know about these mushrooms? Ruta goes, I actually have never seen them at Min. But he goes over to a bunch of mushrooms and then he sniffs. They smell really nice. And he puts a finger to them, to one of these caps, and then you hear a light sound, like a tinkling sound, and then the spores fall from the cap to the ground like so much glitter. It looks actually quite lovely.
Will we just try it? I can... I'm not sure I want to use another spell. So...
I think we can just take it.
let's give it a try. Maybe just one first and see how they feel. So we are not all... whatever it happens.
And Min takes one of them and she just eats it. And
How does it taste?
actually it tastes... It tastes like chocolate.
Right?
I know. I wasn't expecting that. Do I look different?
Does she look different?
No, not that you can tell.
No, and I will just slightly poke her shoulder. And you're still there? Shirai, feel different?
No, what? No, I'm fine. Nothing.
And this is the first time that Lyra addressed Shirai directly.
Suddenly Min smiles. I can hear your thoughts.
What?
You were thinking she hasn't changed at all. I don't know what she's going on about. I can read your thoughts.
So we might need to take more of these shrooms. Not all at the same time, but that might be what we were looking.
I'm whole. I can read her thoughts. Can you read mine? No. I'm gonna think of something and I'm going to concentrate on you. And you tell me if you can see it too. And she closes her eyes like a little child, like really pressing them tightly together, really concentrating. And in your mind's eye, you see an image of a very huge forest, and in that forest are tall spires of naturally formed rocks. So they're probably around maybe 50, 60 meters above ground. So they are above the tree line. And on top, you see a pagoda-like complex made of red wood.
Is that your home?
Did you see it? Yes, that's my home.
Beautiful.
I will have to take you one day.
I would love to.
That's where I grew up. That's the monastery where I trained.
A kind of magical place.
I'd like to think so. Although it's not really magical, but it is in my head.
Well, feeling-wise, it's magical. Doesn't need to be actual magic.
But you could see it.
Yes.
Shiraishi could see it.
Let's pack a few more. And Lyra will also start munching on one of the mushrooms. Does it taste like chocolate?
It does taste like chocolate.
Maybe I need to have more of those and sell them. That would be great for the kids.
Maybe.
Depending on what we feel, how they work on us, maybe. But what can be
I don't know.
worse
Can you
than
now
turning
read my
blue?
thoughts too? You're not turning blue, I'm afraid.
Well, it's not my sweets, right? So it's fine. Oh, look at Min. I have not even the slightest idea how to read mine, so it's like, I don't think so.
You don't hear her thoughts. And she's basically, what am I thinking?
I have no idea.
Okay. Then she looks at Rutu. Can you read my thoughts? Rutu munches on one of those. Yes, they do taste like chocolate. And he looks at her and he says, after a while, I can't read your thoughts either.
Well, it said it, I think it's relaxing. Maybe it lowered some kind of barrier that blocked your ability. Because we don't have the ability, you do.
Maybe. And you can tell that she looks very happy. She looks super relaxed. She looks super happy. You've never seen her look like this before. She looks like somebody has taken a burden off her. She even seems to have grown maybe by an inch. Maybe she's standing up a little straighter now. Do you continue on your journey?
Yeah, we will pack in a few more mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will walk on.
Mm-hmm. After a while, you come to a break in the path. You have to cross another ravine that is basically bisecting your path. It's quite a ways down, and across it you see a narrow bridge, and the bridge is constructed of human bones. Oh, that's what it looks like.
I think also all the way here, Lyra would have played with Min, like, tell me what I'm thinking about. And it would be minor things like, I don't know, someone in the village, or a red balloon, or just tiny things.
She
just
actually
to be curious.
Hears it every single time. She says she hears your thoughts and she can tell what you're thinking, and it's very accurate.
That is amazing.
It is. But it's also not the case that I hear them all the time. I have to look at you and I have to want it.
That is good. If not, I think it would be very overwhelming and much to handle. It's just us here, but and she will give Min a nudge. So We didn't even start with the mission to heal you, but checkpoint on that.
She smiles. Yes, that was a good thing. We've done many good things so far. We've freed your 3 aunts.
Yes. And we earned a bit of money at least, so we can use that for other things.
And we helped Druto's friends. The rats, we saved them.
Yeah, I hope they're doing okay and they're not close to the war going on.
Ruto looks at you and he says, they are quite crafty.
I don't think they will go after the rats. They will go more after the humans and others.
Yeah. So what about the bridge now?
Are these really bones? And she will just look over her.
Make a medicine check.
More creepy. Well, that is 4. So it's a 4. I have no idea.
But Min does. She rolls a 17. These are real.
Who on earth thinks that nice decoration?
A vampire lord.
So then let's try to find out how we can get there. How far is the gap to go towards the bridge or even on the other side?
I'd say about 20 feet. So 6 meters. You could try and jump, but it's a long way down.
Give me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
She will have a little meditation thingy that she has her spells back.
Mm-hmm.
And the math is not mathing. Darn it.
The math is not mathing? What?
We are too many people. Again, the cat is a problem.
She looks at you and she says, I'm not going to do it, so I'm asking you, what are you thinking?
I can make a door open here and open another one there, but I can only take one being with me. I can only do it twice.
I need to check one thing.
Working.
What is the jump?
The other option, is there anything we can tie a rope to? That would be maybe a better option.
Let me just check one thing, because she can double her jump. Long jump, a number of feet equal to your strength score if you move 10 feet before jumping without moving 10 feet first. The long jump is half that distance. High jump. Strength. That's not good because she has 0 strength. Actually, -1, so that's not gonna help.
Then I have 2 questions. How much can a mage hand carry?
Is, I think, 20 pounds. English pounds, so 18 kilograms.
10
or 10,
pounds.
yeah.
So Darling is not weighing more than 10 pounds, question mark?
No, she's not. That would be one fat cat. Who are you calling fat?
It would work. You hold this, and I will give Min the backpack. Come on, Ruto. First round for us. Second round, we will grab Min, and then we will have the mage hand carry the cat over. Or maybe first carry the cat over. If not, Darling will probably murder us.
Maybe.
Oh no! Another flaw. Fucking... Sorry, stream language. It's not... Before I do that, it's like... No, it's not working. I have to get back. So maybe the rope thingy. Can we tie a rope somewhere to just go work our way over?
Min looks at you and she says, let me try something.
Okay.
And she goes
don't
to the
die.
bridge. She takes her quarterstaff and holds it in front of her like a pole, like one of those balancing poles. And she puts one foot on the bridge, one foot, and lifts the other into the air, but still kind of like that it's over the ground behind her. And then she waits. And you notice that she can stand perfectly still. Like you've never noticed this before, but if she really wants to, she doesn't move at all. There isn't even like this little balancing, this little kind of like shifting. She stands like a tree. She doesn't move. And then she takes the foot that was in the air and she puts it in front of her other foot, and she does the same thing again. So now let's see how she does. Dexterity. Oh, it's a natural 20.
That is usually good.
She rolled a 27, which is a natural 20. And she says, if I'm on my own, I can make it across. I can take Darling.
I can bring Darling over. That's the easy part.
No, because you can't, because when you Misty Step,
That's Mage Hand. Mage Hand is a...
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, no, sorry. You were going to Mage Hand.
The idea was I have to bamf over once, I would have to bamf back, and then I could not go over again. So
I like
that
it
was
that
the
you
main
call
problem.
it bamfing. It makes me laugh
bamfing.
every single time.
It's bamfing.
It's bamfing.
So, yeah. So if you're over, you can basically... I can bring over...
And Min...
Should we still tie you in case you fall?
You can tie me. You throw her a rope, which she ties around her waist, and then she walks over. It is like a ballerina, or like somebody balancing, like one of those athletes balancing on a beam. It's incredible. The poise, the athleticism with which she negotiates this bridge, which bends like hell. It moves to the sides, it moves up and down, but she's basically balancing against every single movement of that bridge, and it looks like she's walking on even ground. And then she arrives at the end and she says, you can let go of the rope. And she draws it in.
Let go of the rope that she can draw it in, and then I will look at Darling. You have to trust me. You will be over with Min in a second. And the mage hand will appear, will grab the backpack, and will start floating over towards Min.
So the cat rolled a 14 on her. Do I trust this person who is not providing me with regular food and also, who's dragging me through this country? And she succeeds.
She decided to come with us. It was not Lyra's decision. Well, she just wants to point that out.
To be quite honest, she is having second thoughts, but she would never say that it's her fault. No. So she has to find somebody to blame. It's you she's blaming. You are the reason why she's stuck in this position. The fact that she basically crawled into your backpack to follow you, that's beside the point. That was several months ago. She's already ignoring this.
But the backpack will float over
Mm-hmm.
and will land in front of Min, or Min will catch it.
She does, and then she opens the backpack and she gives scritches, and she gives a snack. And
Oh, clearly Min is now the most favorite person for a little while.
of course. And she takes her out and she gives her a kiss between the ears, and then she says, "Okay, now look, Lyra's gonna join us together with Ruto." But then
And
there's
I'll
nothing to
just-
see really, because you vanished, don't you?
Well, no, we stepped through a door.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So
Okay.
at least I imagine it's never really. Is it written how Dimension Door looks?
Oh, so it's not a Misty
It's
Step.
not
It's
Misty
Dimension
Step.
Door.
No, it's Dimension Door. Misty Step, I can't take anyone with me, but Dimension Door would be then the one to do. So
But they've
in front,
never seen this, so she's basically looking at
no,
you.
that's a new thing.
And I would find it so funny if there was actually a door that appears. You stick out your hand. You
Exactly.
pull the
That's
handle.
what I see. Yes, it's a door. It's slightly shimmering,
Oh,
but it
cool.
appears. I will grab Ruto's hand. Come on, let's join Min. And the moment I open the door, I look over, and next to Min, another door appears, and we are stepping through, and we'll be next to Min and get out of that door.
Min looks at you and she says, "That is incredible.
It's quite helpful.
It's like a door."
Yes. And honestly, I think I can go much further than this little thingy here.
Wow.
I can take one with me. They need to be willing. If they don't want to come with me, then not. But
How does it feel?
looking at Ruto as well, I'm just a bit cold. It's a bit chilly.
Yes, but not unpleasant.
No, and kind of darkish, but with a clear way to go.
That was, well, Lyra, that was an experience that I really cherish.
Well, the question is Dimension Door more like the game Portal, that you basically look through a hole and see the... No, then it's not a door. We will go with the door that goes.
Do you think it could take us away from here?
No. I don't think so.
When you say thank you for trusting me, he bows deeply and he says, "Family."
Yes. Okay, all together, other side. Let's see what comes next. If it's the Vampire Lord, I don't care. We killed his wife, we can kill him.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
Come on.
As you walk, you, after a while, see that now the ground is littered with skulls and the bones of the dead. And then you come to what you believe is probably the end of this particular road, because you see what looks like an altar maybe, and on it you see a pulsing heart which glows white and black and white and black, and from the altar rise 3 shadowy figures that fly towards you.
Lyra will just call out, "I'm here to take what's rightfully mine. Give it as free will, or you will see what happens."
Okay, as you say that, the 3 shadows seem completely unimpressed. They fly towards you, and you can now make a DC. You can now make a wisdom saving throw.
Even with an extra die, it's not really helpful. That is a 12.
Okay. And you realize, as you are saying this, your throat tightens and you can't move anymore and you can't finish your sentence. Please roll initiative.
We don't like these things.
Ba, 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 ba.
11 for me.
Okay.
Is my wisdom really that low? Yes, it is.
Your wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for the save?
Yeah, I'm
No, I
just
was like-
looking at why is it just a +3 because I'm proficient in it. If not, it would be 0, which would be very disappointing.
I mean, even with her ability to get to get advantage in every single wisdom save, she just rolled a 6 and an 8, so she's not doing much better. So you can see that she's also frozen. Let's see how Ruto is doing.
I also rolled a d10, and that was 1.
Okay.
so the dice are clearly saying no, you are not making it.
Okay, Ruto rolled a 16, although wisdom isn't even his best. Okay, so let's see. We have them at 11. Ruto rolls a 1d20 plus 4. That's a 6. Min rolls a 12. What did you roll on your initiative?
An 11.
Okay, so you're tied. Can you tell me what your dex is, please?
Min's is higher. I'm
No,
at 2.
no, sorry, yours, because I need to compare it to the shadows. You're tied with the shadows.
Oh, okay, with the shadows, I have a 2.
Okay, so they do go first. And they go first anyway, because at the moment, you can't move. So the 3 fan out. And they have one round where they are ahead of you. And they basically come on. Which, I mean, you were standing at the front, weren't you? So basically you were okay. So they are coming, they're moving into you and to Min, who's basically and they can't get to Min because Min is still at the rear. And what they do is they move through you. One of them moves through you and another one moves through you, and then they stand next to Min, next to Ruto, and next to you. So each of you has one person or one shadow within melee range, and they all attack. So the first one attacks you. Does an 18 hit?
Sadly so.
You take 13 necrotic damage.
Wait, I'm having that. I'm quite sure. I'm resistant to necrotic. Yeah. So 13 you said? So it's 6. Okay.
Okay. Then the next one attacks Ruto on a 23 that does hit. And he does 13 points of necrotic damage. And that was, I said 13, didn't I? Okay, so that's... And last, but by no means least, the last one attacks Min. Oh my god, I'm rolling so well. And on a 21, that is a hit. 13 points of necrotic damage. She is going to invoke... her deflect attacks, No, she can't because it's necrotic. It doesn't work. It would have to be physical. Okay, so she takes 13 points of damage. And is at 34. So now it is the normal order. So Min goes first. Min attacks the one that is right next to her with the unarmed strike. And on a 13, that doesn't hit. That is too bad. But she's lucky. She's just gonna sorry, how does that work? You have to then repeat the roll and take the second.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so she's going to try this again because this is really important. Just gonna do this again. And on a 16, that is a hit. Which is very important. So she does the unarmed strike. She does 9 points of bludgeoning damage to her guy. So that is... I need to think. Okay. But then what she's going to do is she is going to spend 1 focus point. Oh my god, she can do so many things. And then she is going to... Oh no, she has an extra attack anyway, which she's going to invoke before she spends anything. She attacks twice. Plop. 21, that's a hit. For another 7. And now she's going to spend 1 focus point to do the flurry of blows as a bonus action. And that allows her to... Where's the flurry of blows? She has it there. 2 additional unarmed strikes. 10 doesn't hit. 26 certainly does. For another 7 bludgeoning. And now it is the shadows again. So the first one, we're just going to take it from the rear. The first one is going to attack her and try and see if it can do any damage. And on a 10, it misses. The next one tries to attack Ruto. And hits on a 25. So Ruto is down. And the last one is going to attack you. And an 18 hits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, you take 13 necrotic damage.
Okay, so 6 again.
So now it is you.
You said he's down, right? Oh, can I have a reaction against him hitting me?
Absolutely.
So he will get Hellish Rebuke. So he would just get a fire blast in the face.
And what does that do?
He needs to make a dexterity saving throw again. 15.
He rolls a 19.
Okay. Then he does half damage for 2d10 fire. If fire interesting, that is 10 and is 1. So 11. So 5 points.
Resistance halves it, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's 2 points.
10 and plus 1 is 11 divided by 2 is not 2, it's 5.
No, it's 5.
Oh, sorry.
But then he gets 5, and that he halves again.
Oh, because he saved.
He saved, that's why it's
Okay.
just 5, and then he halves the 5,
Still?
so it's just 2 or 3 points.
It's 3 points. Okay, cool. Okay, well, he
That
took
would
3
be
points.
okay, out of spells, just to note that, so only cantrips. I will use my action to touch Ruto and give him some kind of life back, not sure how much. And there's a d4. So 8 hit points back for him. It's not much, but
He
at
gets
least.
up and he is much better.
And I would stand over him because he's still lying on the ground, just to make sure that if they hit me and not him, please. And
Okay.
I think that's all I can do because everything else is an action as well.
Ruto, it's Ruto's turn. He gets up. And he looks at the one that was fighting you. And let's see.
I'm fine. Go. Get some distance
in. Okay. Oh no, sorry. Okay, so basically, first of all, he needs to attack. That is definitely a hit. Is that how this works? Oh, actually, no.
That is not getting away, Ruto. There's nothing to bring it back afterwards.
He can't get away because if he does, then he can't move.
He can use his action to disengage as every normal.
Yeah, but then he's stuck between the two of you, and there's a specter behind him. He actually cannot physically move. You are standing at the front. There is one in front of you. Then there's one next to him. There is the wall to the other side, and Min is behind him.
He can walk through. Well, technically, he can crawl through us and go. You can walk through your own party.
Okay, so then he's going to disengage.
Because he can do shooting from the back.
Yeah, and then he's walking away.
Not this round, but at least please save your butt, because we cannot. We will be fine.
Okay,
just
so
shoot them with your arrows, darling.
He does move away, and he moves away. Okay, good. Okay, so in which case it is Min. And she's going to attack her one again. Number 1.
Let's get them.
That's a hit. For 8. Then she takes her extra attack. She doesn't even have to spend any on this. She just attacks him again. Bam. 27, that's a natural 20.
Yes, double damage.
And she does 8 points of damage, and that is enough. However, what happens now is, because they don't go easy.
Oh, we have healing potions, I just saw. Okay, there is another way to say, but 8 hit points, 1 hit, and he's down again, so.
No, it doesn't apply. So this one is also, and actually she uses this ability to commute the kind of damage she does. So she does force damage in all of this. And now she is turning to the one that was standing next to Ruto, and who you are flanking with. And she's going to use a flurry of blows.
Punch him in the face.
And punch him in the face.
The guts.
For 16, that's a hit. That's 9 points of damage. And then the second one, that's 18, that's also a hit. And that is 5 points of damage. And now it is up to them. So the first one attacks her again. And on a 21 he hits, and she takes 13 points of damage. The second one attacks you. And it attacks for 20. That's a hit, I assume. You take 13 points of necrotic damage.
So 6 again.
And now please make a charisma save.
Charisma. That's new. Just checking one. Oh. Oh, that is a 19 plus 7. 26. It's the virtual middle finger.
Okay. Okay, yeah, nothing happens. It's your turn.
My katana will appear in my hand, and it will be double strike now because she learned how to do a double swipe motion, so double attack.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is no hitting. That is a 12.
That doesn't hit.
Yeah. The second one is a 24.
Okay, that does hit.
And where is my D6?
I take it this is a magical weapon, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
magical. And I decide what it does psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that is wait, where are the stats? 7 points of psychic damage. It's not much, but better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
That's all I can do.
Okay, now it's Ruto's turn. Ruto looks at the one and he's really not happy, and he faces the guy down with his eyes, and okay, yeah, nothing happens. It's Min. Min attacks the one that was looking after Ruto and trying to bring him down. 17 hits. She does her extra attack again. 25 hits. Looking good. And then she expends one more focus point and attacks with a flurry of blows. 16, I think, does not hit. It does. Okay. She does 5 points of damage. And then one more time. That's a hit as well. And for 5, it is down. It just had 5 points left. Then it's the one that's still there. And it's going to attack you. Because obviously it really doesn't like you. Bring it on.
That's exactly what Lyra would say to him. Come on, you can't hit me.
19.
Well, yep, hits. Her AC is not
13.
good, but...
Hellish Rebuke.
No, I cannot. I don't have spells anymore.
Oh, it's a spell. Okay.
It's a spell. It's a reaction, but a spell slot. So
you take 13 necrotic or whatever you do with necrotic
6.
damage.
I have it.
It's you.
Swiping sword in the face, and let's see if this time it goes better.
You need to hit a 14.
Yeah, first is a 13. That's not working, and second one is also a miss. It's
okay.
Not good.
You're still learning.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see.
Maybe I should switch over to magic missiles. At least Lara would be like, maybe magic would be, maybe missiles would be better. Ah.
Okay, so Ruto does his thing, and you realize something weird is happening because the shadow seems to be lifting its hands to its head. As he is casting Mind Sliver, and it fails its intelligence test with a dirty 1 and takes 2d6 psychic damage. Let's see. Eight points of damage. Still standing. Min looks at you and she says, do you want me to finish it off? Or shall I leave it to you?
I'll finish it off.
She goes there and she hits for 26 with advantage. Oh, did you roll advantage?
Oh no, I did not.
Okay, then please do, because you would have had advantage, because this one's definitely now being flanked.
We're not talking about rolls.
Okay.
It's all 1 digit and on the lower end, even a natural 1 in between.
Okay, so essentially she does 7 points of damage on her first, and then she takes a second attack, which is which was we don't just roll damage one more time, we have to try. 23, that's a hit, and a 9. The shadow dissipates.
Woohoo!
And
Ruto, are you okay?
yes, Lyra.
Do you need a healing potion? We still have.
No, I will be fine. All I need is to sit down, stretch my legs, and rest my toes. And he basically takes off his boots and he wiggles his toes and sits down.
Let me first try to get that. And I would slowly walk over to the altar.
Mm-hmm.
And carefully pick up the heart.
Yes.
And Min sees visions of just the idea of what will happen if I just drop it. She will not. But the short flash of how can I annoy her okay, that would go too far.
Okay, are you actually reaching out with your mind kind of like towards Min? Do you want her to notice
No,
this?
but it would be open in case she
Okay.
is curious to use her ability. If not,
she's actually
at least
sitting down next to
the
Ruto.
DM. At least for the DM, the ideas Lyra and the player has, like, oopsie, broken, story over, yay. No.
It is an option. Do you want to make a wisdom save to see if you drop your mother's heart?
I don't need a wisdom. It would be a short flash with the same moment of basically beating herself like, oh, don't be stupid. We are not doing that. And she will carefully pick it up and will put it in her bag.
Well, as you pick it up, you notice how it becomes really cozy warm in your hands.
Don't do that.
And it beats like a heart, but you notice something. The heartbeat matches your own.
Well, that's it. She will talk to the heart. Stop it. That's creepy.
The heart doesn't answer.
And it's not changing the heartbeat, I suspect.
No, it's a regular pulsing heartbeat which matches your own.
If someone is freezing, we have a heater now.
The two of them are sitting down next to each other. Ruto is expending one of his hit dice.
Yeah, I would sit next to them and do the same and roll hit dice as well.
Now the question is, what is his hit die?
What class is he?
He isn't one. He's just Ruto. He's a sprite. Tiny fae. Neutral good.
Because the hit die depends on if you're, I don't
does,
know, fighter or whatever.
Something tells me he's probably got something like a D6.
So 6 is the lowest. Then
No,
we have
4
8.
I think is the lowest for...
I don't think... Does
Wizards?
anyone have 4?
I think wizards have a D4.
6? This 4 sounds horrible.
I know.
And then overview here. Controls.
Oh, yes, you're right. 1d6.
Yeah, because 4 would be... It's a question if it's more 8, because I think he's still quite...
Oh, that is 2024.
Okay.
In 2014, it was a d4.
It was a 4. Because 4 is just horrible, though. Yeah, give him at least a 6, or maybe an 8. He's magical, kind of.
Oh, okay. No, in second edition, it was a d4. In fifth edition,
yeah,
it was a
because
d6.
I think
Yeah,
in
okay.
5th, no one has a d4.
Yeah, second edition, third edition. Yeah, 3x even. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So what did you say? A d8? No, a d6.
D6 or D8? Well, it's your decision in the end. It goes
Well,
up
he's
to
more like a
D12.
like a little fighter, but not a real fighter. So I would say a d6.
Okay.
Okay, so he has, because he's level 5, so he has 5d. No, but then he would have no. It makes sense. He's level 5. He's got 5d6 hit dice. His con is +0, so yeah, that makes sense. So he was 10, and then 13, 16, 19. No, it has to be a d8, otherwise the math doesn't work. The math is not mathing. So he's got a d8. So he's got 5d8. Now he's going to roll a d8. I need a d8. Gimme. And he regains 3 points. So he's now at 10.
I need to look up the wizard because the extract does not say what kind of die I have to roll. I think
He's going to roll
it's
another
a 6,
one.
but I'm not sure. Where is wizard?
Oh, no, he gets an 8. So now he's at 18. That's good.
D6. Okay. Let's see where we are. We have... Okay, and it's a +1. Wow.
And Min is going to stand on one leg. And she is going to do wholeness of body and regain 7 hit points. She's also going to expend 2 hit dice and roll 2d8s. That's an 8. And that's a 4, that's 12, so she's at 40. Almost whole again.
I'm at 39 and I rolled 4. It died to get it.
Okay. But you've also been taking a short rest, so you can click on short rest and whatever you get back. Well, you can't click, but whatever you get back
But
for
my
a short
spells
rest.
are back. Yeah, my spells are back.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think Dark One's locked up. I think it's a little check. You can do it. You can use long rest. Okay. Yeah. So spells are back. That's the most important part. Oh, and the healing. No, long rest. Okay, so no healing. Okay.
Okay. Okay, bonus action martial art. Oh no, martial arts die plus wisdom modifier. Okay, so that would have been a D. Oh no, it does it already. Okay, so that works. So that was correct. And she can do it 2 more times between long rests. Okay, so basically you get up and you keep walking, and after a while you realize, well, it is now, you have been going for a good while, you know.
Wait.
It's been, yeah.
Where are we walking to? Is behind the, because at the moment Lyra would pull out the heart again, would look at it, wouldn't be like, and now? Because usually we always got a hint where to bring the heart when we got the heart.
Yeah, that's a good point. There is a way that you can follow after behind the yeah, I'll leave it to you. You can either return to whence you came, cross the bridge and everything, or you can walk past the altar and keep going.
Okay, so it's not that the altar is like the end, it's just along the way.
Yeah.
Well, going back doesn't sound right. What do you guys think? Moving on?
Well, we need to find a swamp. This is anything but a swamp. So, but going back.
This is a death trap, literally. But where we began, was it a swamp? Was it swampy-like? No, it was not.
You were literally in a wasteland, and before you was just this ravine.
Well,
it's like a death valley.
Then let's find some water. Kind of.
Okay, so you keep walking, and after a while, actually, the path climbs up. And you reach the top of the ravine, so it really looks like you simply walked through this Death Valley-like place. And now you are at a place where you can actually see those flying creatures. And they are bats, but very large, so easily 2 meters wingspan. The body is probably the size of Ruto, and they fly around you. And yeah, you can make a wisdom save to see, are you scared? But with advantage because you took those shrooms. Oh, she's got a natural 20. She's fine.
I'm not.
Ruto rolled a natural 22.
I rolled a better roll, was a 4, and even with a 2 on a d10 on top is still a 6, which is a 9 wisdom save.
Okay, you're frightened.
I will just turn around and be like, nope, I'm not handling flattery, fluttery, ugly, no.
Amin takes you by the hand and she says, what's wrong with you? They're fine, look.
No, they're scary as fuck. They will kill us all in an instant.
They're not even trying to approach.
I will drag her with me away from them back the way.
Make a strength check, and she will oppose it. Not a save, but a check. She rolls a 20.
I have a 0.
This whole idea of pulling her away somehow doesn't work. Not at all. Instead of pulling her away, she pulls you towards her and gives you kind of like a bear hug and says, okay, say it with me. As long as we're together, nothing can assail us. As long as we're together, nothing can assail us. And suddenly, and now you can make a wisdom save if you like.
We'll try. I need to change my die. I can still add a 10 on that. Let's see. Well, that's at least an 11.
Okay.
It's getting better, not much, but
so what happens is you can feel something that you haven't felt before. You can feel her mind reaching out to you, but she's not trying to read your mind. She's trying to share her feelings with you. And you feel that she is completely calm and serene. And you feel that this is probably Shirai, whose feelings you are experiencing. Now you can try, you can, because you rolled an 11, decide not to let those feelings influence you, or you can go with it. And let the feelings calm you.
She will try to get calmer. And probably will grab Min's hand and be like, okay, we can do this, kind of.
And you do feel that your fear leaves your body. Take a deep breath, and you feel very serene and very calm.
Thank you. I'm still eyeing them. I don't like this place.
Me neither. We should go.
Mm-hmm.
And she's holding onto your hand, and she stretches out her other hand to Ruto, who grabs it as well. And the three of you walk, because now you can actually walk next to each other. You leave the ravine, you leave these flying, creepy, bat-like creatures behind you, and you see that beyond the veil there is quite a lot of brightness. And you step through, and what you see is a lot lighter, so this darkness falls behind you. But what you see before you isn't necessarily really beautiful either, because you are staring out onto a bleak moor landscape. So it's like, it's as desolate as Dartmoor on a really dreary day, with the fog rolling in, and not even the ponies can make this any better. And you can also smell the swamp. This kind of like rotting plant matter that's fallen into the swamp, the stench even, and you can already see will-o-wisps.
Oh god.
They're basically, the little flames are dancing to the left and to the right. And Min looks at you and she says, maybe we should rest. Build a fire before we go in there, because I'm really tired. What do you think?
Is there wood around?
Yeah, there are
Okay.
those kind of like those crippled, gnarly trees whose growth has been stunted, but there is definitely wood. There is also swamp grass, and you know that this burns rather well. You could use it for kindling.
Okay.
Because although this is a swamp, the grass itself is really kind of like more reed and kind of dry. Yeah.
Then we will make camp.
Mm-hmm.
No one talk to these thingies. I'm quite sure Lyra knows what will-o-wisps are.
Yeah, you do.
And Ruto should know as well.
Yes. Absolutely. You know, you've seen these before. You know that they are dangerous, and you also know that you should do anything but follow them.
They're very cute.
That's true.
That's the problem.
That is true. Basically, Min rolled a 19 on her survival, so she builds a fire, she builds camp. One of those will-o-wisps actually comes over, and it dances in front of you and realizes you are not paying it enough attention. So it basically draws back its little foot and kicks you against the toe.
I'll just shoo it away with a hand motion. That's it. And I will talk to Darling. No playing with them.
You hear a and the will-o-wisp leaves. Min looks at you and she says, are they not dangerous? Can they not hurt us?
They can if they want to. They are more trickery usually.
Maybe it wanted to talk.
I don't think so. Usually they talk and then they lure you in. That's their thing. And then you're doomed.
Oh, so the point is not to listen to them.
Yeah.
All right.
You can look at them. That shouldn't hurt. But
they are kind of cute.
They are.
So
I read that if you're a strong wizard, you can conjure them.
That would be nice.
It does what you want, which sounds also quite forceful. I'm not sure.
And they live in the swamp.
They seem to like water. I don't know why.
Well, water is not bad. I mean, this water stinks, but water is not bad.
Sometimes you find them around wells as well.
I see. Well sprites.
Well,
We have those
usually-
at home.
Yes, and then they take you along and you will never be seen again.
We have something similar, but it's kind of like a water woman with very long hair. And you look into the water and you think you see your reflection, but really you see her face. And then she reaches out to you and she embraces you and then she pulls you under.
We have also something that is called sirens. They sing beautiful songs and drive the sailors mad, and they follow them and drown.
Okay, so water.
Seems
Dangerous. Yeah, never liked it much. I prefer the earth.
Yeah.
Although I like fishing.
And it's nice to look at when you're at the coast.
Well, when you come visit, I will show you our waterfalls. You will love them. They are quite tall.
I don't think I've ever seen a waterfall. I know from picture books how, but no.
There is one that is so tall that they say that if you jump from it, you don't hit the ground, but you will be taken up by the gods, and you can make a wish for somebody else, and that wish will come true.
Sounds dangerous.
Well, nobody's ever arrived at the bottom, so I believe that people are taken up by the gods. If you are so brave as to jump from that high up, the gods will surely catch you.
Lara will think her part, will not say anything, and will just plonk herself next to the fire.
Who should take first watch?
I can do it first, but I don't care. Which
All right.
one?
Shall you take first watch, then I take second watch, and Ruto takes last watch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you prepare a meal. It is you make sure that the water that the fire is going all night, because it kind of, first of all, it cheers you up, and secondly, it's also warming you. And you can now make a perception check.
Wait 1 second. Perception check. They all roll terrible at the moment, so let's see. There's no perception in this world. I rolled a 1.
Okay. Well, you hear nothing. This is like probably the most peaceful swamp that you've ever been in. Behind you, a family of will-o'-wisps makes off with some of your stuff. So you lose like 4 mushrooms. You hear nothing. You see nothing. You're completely oblivious.
Probably silently or very in a low voice, whistling a beautiful song to myself.
Yeah. And behind you, a family of will-o'-wisps takes one of your bags, opens it, takes out 4 mushrooms, 1 each, and walks away with them.
Great.
Which you don't find out until the next morning.
Who ate my mushrooms?
Yeah, Min doesn't get the wool pulled over her eyes. She rolls a 17. She sees everything. You hear at some point, you wake up because you hear a, let me go. And she's holding one of those will-o'-wisps by the scruff of its neck and saying, excuse you? That's my bag. Give it back. And she takes it away, and then she basically takes the will-o'-wisp and shoos it away like so. And the will-o'-wisp again walks away.
She's lucky that that was the only thing he did.
Yeah.
Damn,
Maybe
nasty.
maybe these are kind of like young ones that haven't really grown into their nastiness yet. They're still just at the trickster stage. And Ruto is also fine. And the next morning you wake up and it is trying to find your mother's body. And we shall leave it here. 2300 hours, almost on the dot.
Thank you for running the game.
Thank you very much for playing. Thank you very much for watching, listening. Please leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, like, and we'll see you again in 2.5 weeks. We're gonna have to push out the next one by a week, and we will be back in the
Beginning of July.
at the beginning of July. Yes,
Yeah.
with the next installment. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.